Hi, and welcome to Season 2 of That's Ruddy Mysterious, a podcast of short tales about true mysteries. What created the Potomsky Crater? Who was involved in the 1963 Great Train Robbery? I'm not going to solve those mysteries, but they'll be interesting to learn about. I'm your host, Kelly with an I. Transcripts and references for all episodes can be found at that'sruddymysterious.wordpress.com. No apostrophe and no exclamation point. Today's tale is about the Mirny Diamond Mine. The word Mirny translates from Russian to peaceful. The Mirny Diamond Mine is in a town called Mirny in Siberia, Russia. Mirny is located about 280 kilometers or just under 174 miles from the Arctic Circle in the Siberian wilderness. Mirny is also called a mono-city because most of the residents there work for the same company. Mirny has only a few full-time residents, however. The residents live in a small community built on stilts to prevent flooding from melting permafrost in the spring. The Mirny Mine is also called the Mirny Mine. The Mirny Mine is over 1,722 feet or 525 meters deep. The diameter of the mine is 3,900 feet or 1,200 meters. This is the second largest man-made pit in the world. The largest is Bingham Canyon Mine in Salt Lake City, Utah, in the United States. It produces more than the average number of diamonds, many of very high quality. In 1955, the Soviet Union was rebuilding after World War II. In order to do so, the country needed a lot of industrial diamonds, which the diamond distribution company De Beers had a monopoly over. It was too expensive to buy the needed diamonds, so Joseph Stalin commanded that the USSR search for diamonds in their own land. 3 geologists found an igneous rock called kimberlite. Ekaterina Elegina, Yuri Kabardin, and Viktor Avdyenko were searching in eastern Siberia when they found the stone. To announce their find, Kabardin sent the message, "I am smoking the pipe of peace." This was the first successful search for kimberlite in the USSR. There had been previous expeditions to find it in the 1940s and again in the 1950s. Kimberlite is an igneous rock, poor in silica but rich in magnesium. There are 2 types of rock that suggest the presence of diamonds, kimberlite and lamproite. Kimberlite is a type of magma that carries natural diamonds to the surface of the earth during a volcanic eruption. In 1957, Stalin ordered the construction of the Mirny Diamond Mine, where the geologists had found the kimberlite. Kabardin was also given a prestigious award for the find. There were problems immediately with the construction of the mine. The ground in Siberia is covered with permafrost for at least 7 months out of the year. For the remaining 5 months, the permafrost is slush and cannot be built upon. The temperatures in the winter go down to negative 45 degrees Celsius or negative 49 degrees Fahrenheit. That's so cold that car tires shatter and oil freezes. In order to break through the ground, crews used jet engines to thaw the soil. When digging was not occurring, the whole mine, along with all of the equipment, had to be covered to prevent freezing. Crews used dynamite to break through the permafrost. The buildings around the mine were built on piles to avoid them sinking. The main processing plant for the mine had to be built 20 kilometers, or just under 12.5 miles away from the mine itself, on better ground. By the 1960s, the mine was operational. Throughout the 1960s, the Mirny Diamond Mine produced 10 million carats of diamonds per year. The upper layers of soil contained more diamonds than the lower layers. Due to the humongous production of the Mirny Diamond Mine, the USSR became the 3rd largest producer of diamonds in the industry. They also had the finest diamonds. A full 20% of the diamonds that came out of the Mirny Mine were gem quality. At the mine's best, it produced about 4 carats per every ton of ore. This far exceeds the average diamond mine. At one point, Mirny produced a 342.57 carat fancy lemon yellow diamond, the largest ever found in the USSR. This diamond was given the name 26th Congress CPSU and was the largest diamond the mine ever produced. At one point, the Mirny Mine produced over 1/2 of all the world's diamonds. While the mine was open, it produced $13 billion worth of diamonds. By the 1970s, the Mirny Mine should have been producing less diamonds, but miners were actually getting more gem-quality diamonds than ever before. Diamond dealers began to become suspicious of the number of diamonds coming out of the Mirny Mine. De Beers, the world's top diamond distributor, wanted to know how it was possible for the mine to produce so much. In order to control the price of diamonds, De Beers would buy up as many diamonds as possible, but they weren't able to keep up with the production coming out of the Mirny Mine. They had to buy huge shipments of diamonds from the USSR to maintain the price of diamonds, and they simply couldn't afford to buy everything coming out of the USSR. In 1970, De Beers asked for a tour of the mine so they could see how the immense production was possible. 6 years later, in 1976, De Beers' request was granted, but even after approval, De Beers had trouble with the inspection. By the time inspectors were allowed to enter the mine, they only had 20 minutes left on their visas before needing to leave the country. This was not enough time to determine how the mine's production was possible. This would also be the last time outside inspectors were allowed to enter the mine. The USSR fell in 1991, but the Mirny diamond mine continued to run. First, it was run by the Saka Diamond Company. The mine continued to produce diamonds until it was closed in 2001, although it didn't close for good until 2011. The Mirny diamond mine earned Saka more than $600 million in diamond sales per year. In 2004, officials say the mine was flooded and they had already dug too deep to mine anymore. In 2009, Russian company Alrosa started operating the mine as an underground mine. At this time, Russia was still producing half of the world's diamonds, with 8% of those diamonds coming out of the Mirny diamond mine. In 2010, Russian company AB Elisa said they planned to build a domed city within the mine. They said the city would provide solar-powered homes to over 10,000 residents. So far, no plans have come to fruition, however. In 2017, the mine flooded with more than 100 workers inside. The flood killed 8. Water had come into the shaft from the open pit mine above. Because of this flood, the mine was shut down. Today, the mine stands abandoned. The airspace above the mine, however, is still restricted. The depth of the mine, combined with warmer air from within the mine meeting colder air at the surface, creates a vortex of sorts that sucks helicopters and small aircraft into the mine. There are unsubstantiated reports of this having happened. Outsiders are not even allowed to enter the town without a permit. The governor of Yakutia, Siberia, said the mine will reopen in 2024. This is in contrast to statements made by Alrosa and regional authorities. They say that reopening the mine is under study. Alrosa said that to determine whether or not the mine is still viable, they must dig down 1,300 meters, or about 4,265 feet. This will cost the company about $32 million, or 2 billion rubles. In January of 2020, Alrosa began test drilling in the mine. In October of 2019, the manager of Alrosa, Alexei Berkser, was arrested in suspicion of violating safety rules. Shortly thereafter, he was found dead in the pretrial detention center. Russia reports he died by suicide. How was the Mirny Mine able to produce so many diamonds and at such high quality? Are aircraft really sucked into the mine? What do you think? Thanks for listening to today's episode of That's Ruddy Mysterious. I'm your host, Kelly with an I. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a review and follow That's Ruddy Mysterious to be updated about new episodes. Tune in next Tuesday for another thought-provoking tale.